to the Making Stories podcast. My name is Claire, and across the seas over in Berlin is Hanna Lisa, my wonderful friend, and pretty much not my colleague for very much longer, but for this episode, because this is unfortunately my final episode of the Making Stories podcast. But that's okay, we're not going to cry.
Are we not? All right.
No. We're going to try. I will, yes. But welcome. If this is your first time here, this is not our normal podcast episode. But yeah, this is going to be my final one. But we're going to have a really jolly time and show off some knitting and have a really good chat. And yeah, if this is your first time here, this is Making Stories. It's a bi-yearly magazine plus all gorgeous, sustainable, beautiful yarns and notions in the web shop. And there's just a big focus on sustainability and making things you love to wear and keeping them forever. That's my awkward intro to the final episode that I'm going to be on. Maybe not the final one. I'm going to
No. You will definitely sneak you back. Oh my God, I had no idea. I was we've had this on the calendar for quite a few weeks. So I mean, we both we knew that it was coming, but it's not until you're in the moment. I'm like, of course, I'm going to cry at some point.
I was ignoring.
Yeah, we both were ignoring.
I was ignoring it.
So we're making this a special goodbye episode. We are going to start with showing some of the knitting that is on/off our needles, and I want to talk a tiny little bit about my knitting plans, but then we also want to talk about the last 4 years of you with Making Stories. Yay. And dive a little bit into why you're leaving and what's next, because I think people are curious, and there's no bad blood, weird story here.
No, really sad to be leaving.
Yeah.
It sucks, but at the same time, I never actually feel like I'm actually leaving because I'm just gonna lurk around. I'm gonna be that really irritating person who just won't leave the party. I'm gonna be here. It's gonna be good, but yeah. Let's talk knitting for a while, and then we'll get into all.
All right, let's talk knitting.
Do you think, or should we? Yeah.
Do you want to start? Should I start?
What? You start.
All right.
You start. I'm going to collect myself a little bit.
Let's do it. Okay, so I have come prepared with 2 finished objects, 1 new work in progress on my needles, and a few skeins of yarns for knitting plans. Also, I just realized my camera has completely, I'm on an interesting angle now. Let me just quickly fix this.
I just saw that. I don't know when that happened.
Me neither.
Some point in between.
I'm sorry.
A stressful intro.
Like that.
There we go.
Perfect. We'll see. Okay, so this is almost finished, almost because you can kind of see the little... The ends are not woven in, and I have not made the pom-pom, which I feel terrible about because this has been finished for weeks now, literally.
Well, it doesn't necessarily need a pom-pom. It looks gorgeous.
But I want a pom-pom.
Yeah, I always want a pom-pom.
So this is my Fire Shadows hat that I knit from our latest issue 8. What is wrong with me? So it's a design by Marilee called Taylor, and it's a super fun decay weight color work hat. And honestly, decay weight color work is my favorite new thing because it's so quick and it's just it works up. This is why I'm feeling so bad about not having this properly finished or photographed or anything or even shown anywhere on the internet for the last 4 weeks or something, because it's been done. It's a thoroughly enjoyable knit though. I made it in Garthenor Organics Beacons, which is the original yarn the pattern calls for. And the colors that I used are Cinder, which is the light gray, and Lichen, which is the lovely sea glass green. And I really enjoy that. I wanted, so Claire showed the original sample, which was a high contrast sample, and I wanted some low contrast color work. It shows up in real life, it shows up a little bit stronger than on camera. sort of like this is pretty accurate. I really enjoy it. Like
I
when I
love
was
it.
halfway through the bottom color work section, I wasn't sure, honestly. I was like, oh, is this too low contrast? But I think especially
Too
because
low
you have
contrast.
those lines, like it really works because they just really pop.
I love that.
So yeah, I really enjoyed
I
it.
really like that.
Um, I made the smallest size just because it like I don't have like a big head. Uh, I have like a 52 centimeter circumference head, and this fits me really, really well. I shortened the
I like
crown
that.
a tiny little bit, I think like by a centimeter or so, just
Mhm.
because I found the original sample crown to be really long. Like if you like that look,
Yeah, it is a long
yeah, so
one.
the sample is in the second size and it has this like super slouchy look, which is just not for me. Like I like my hats to be quite close fitting. So that's
Yeah, I'm the same
yeah,
way.
that's what I did. And I was really pleasantly surprised because I used up not even a skein of each of the colorways. So I obviously haven't made the pom pom yet. But like
So in that case, could you get another hat if you flip it
that's
the other
that's what
colors?
I was wondering as well. I haven't weighed my final like the leftover skeins yet, which I'm
Ooh,
gonna do so that I can answer that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it when that happens because you know what that's perfect for as well? Gift knitting.
Yes.
So,
This,
how to
yeah.
like,
I mean, like, this would be like a super fun, really quick gift net because I think, A, like, it's a stunning thing to gift to anyone. Anyone would be lucky to get this. But it's also just really quick because it's DK weight. And it's great. Like, even if
yeah,
you've never knit color work before, it's a really good, I would say, like, beginner color work pattern. You have to be a little
yeah.
bit careful with your floats up here, but other than that, like
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
you,
say that could get a
yeah,
little tight, but
yeah. But as long as you pay a bit of attention to that, it's fine.
oh, I think it'd be great. And I love it when you can get two hats out of, oh, it's so pretty. Because let's face it, if you are a gift knitter, I think there's always that kind of thing of a handmade, I love handmade gifts. But if you're not a knitter, I think you can assume sometimes that someone's not spent a lot of money
Yeah.
on like knitting at Christmas, and it can get quite expensive if you're trying to knit a lot of
Oh
gifts for
yeah.
people. It can get a bit pricey, and so if you can get two hats out of the skeins and like
Yeah.
reverse them, then that makes it a lot more cost
I mean, one
effective,
thing that
doesn't it?
you can do for sure is make a kid's hat. Like just do like a few less color
Yeah,
work repeats and start the crown decreases earlier.
that's a good idea.
Might actually do
Yeah,
that for
that's a great
Orin.
idea.
Orin's been asking
Oh, that'd
for
be so
all the
cute.
knitwear, all the knitwear. Every time that I wear like anything knitwear, which is every day now, at least a pair of hand knit socks and a sweater, he's like, "Oh, can I get those socks? Can I get that sweater? Can you make me one?" Like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, yes, I will.
Oh, that's so
I
cute
love it.
though.
Yeah, and the work in progress that I've brought is actually for him. So yeah, so
Oh,
finished Fire Shadows hat. Very happy with it. Um,
yay. Love it.
the second thing that I finished is another hat.
That's gorgeous. I haven't
Hello.
seen much of this one at all. It's
No.
beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it? This is like
Oh,
I am so in love with this. Like oh. Okay,
ooh,
so
that's a lovely
this
pattern.
is the Brooklyn hat by Megan Bobbin, who is one of the co-founders of Hudson and West, who have just joined the Making Stories yarn vlog. So obviously, I needed to start making some samples slash things that I will just wear for the entirety of the rest of my life because they're so good in their yarns. And um, this is I'm trying to get this pattern onto our website as well because it was such a fun knit,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
it's great if you just want to try that yarn because this is knit in Hudson and West Forge, which is their worsted weight. So this is the colorway Dusk, and it
Ooh,
takes less than a skein. So if you're like, ooh, I kind of want to try that
It's
yarn. I don't want to commit
gorgeous.
to a sweater quantity just yet. Like this,
Hmm.
and because it's a worsted weight, like this knit up even quicker than this. And you know what my favorite thing
I
about it
love
is,
that.
which I've immediately put to use in my latest whip? It has this super squishy double brim where
I love a double brim.
you and I'd done one before, but in a different way, like for a sweater, like a sweater neckline, and then you
Hmm.
stitch down afterwards. This has you cast on provisionally, like the provisional cast on with
Hmm.
a crochet hook, which I for some reason thought was like super difficult. It's not. It's very
Oh, I
easy.
love that cast on.
And then you knit this like special twisted rib for like in a half an eternity, like
A while.
a little while. But because it's worsted weight and it's like 4.5 millimeter needles or something, it goes really quickly. And then you unravel the
That's
provisional
good.
cast on, you fold it over, and then you just knit those two edges together, and it's
Hmm.
brilliant. It's like it's the squishiest thing in the entire world. I can't believe that I've
Yeah.
never done this before, and it's such a neat
Oh, it's one of
look.
my favorite things.
It's like
I did that with what is the hat from? Remember, I knit the hat from issue 2 for Chris, but I used a heavier yarn. It was supposed to be for Marina's Mend
ooh,
It
the
4-ply,
contorta.
but I did it. Yes, so I knit Chris a worsted weight
Ooh,
version of that hat, and I did the double brim, and he said it's one of the warmest hat. He wears it
yeah,
camping all the time because the double brim, because it doesn't shift around,
yeah.
it keeps your ears really
Like
warm.
I really like that. Like, because my problem is,
Yeah,
um, that my ears are always cold. Like I don't get it when you have a hat that doesn't
yeah,
cover your ears or keep them warm. But the thing is also,
yeah.
if you have a double brim that's folded up, I don't know what kind of person makes it stay on their head. Like my head just does not agree with that. Like I don't know. Like it just looks. I'm just also like a fuzzy person. Like I just like touch my hair and like move around and all of that stuff all the time. So this is
My hair likes to push hats off, so yeah,
so that's the thing. Maybe my hair does that as well. Hair, are
yeah,
you doing that?
yeah. I think so.
So yeah. So this is why I'm really excited about this one because I think it's like super warm and it's also just like look at the stretch. Like
Really stretchy with
what?
those. I love that,
I
like alternate rib
It's so
that they've
good.
done.
It's
I
so good.
love
And
it.
like this reminds me of just like Gothic churches. It's such a
I was gonna say the
lovely
same thing.
like it's so good. And I just fell in love with that yarn more and more with every single stitch. Like it's such a good yarn. It's I cannot believe it. Um so yeah.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I've never got to try it yet, so it's definitely on my list of yarns to try.
You
So,
need to send me which colorway you like most. I'll send you a skein.
oh, what you like? No,
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes. Alrighty. So Brooklyn had Megan Babin in Hudson and West Forge, which you can now get in our web shop. There's
Gorgeous.
also an introduction video on our channel about it, and there's lots of content around it. I've already published a blog post about their story. Next week, there's going to be, oh no, by the time that this actually goes live, it will be up on the blog. There will be um, a post about the patterns that we carry because not only do we carry Hudson and West's fantastic yarns, but we also carry their latest autumn and winter collection as well as their top 10 best selling patterns. So we want you to just, be able to get the yarn and get a pattern that you like. There are a couple of more really beautiful cabled hat patterns that we have for them. So very excited about this one though.
Gorgeous. Go check it
Yeah.
out. That's beautiful. I love that color. It's so pretty.
So, um, I'm going to be talking about my current work in progress first, and then I just very quickly want to share what's going to be on my needles next because I'm excited about that. So as I said,
Ooh,
Oren has been
plans.
requesting all of the knitwear, so there's going to be, I think, like multiple things on my needles in the foreseeable future. Also have like my very long neglected Felix cardigan in my unspun that I haven't touched in like months.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forgot about that.
but um, it's cold. We're trying to not use our heating, which is gas heating, as much. And uh, Oren has a few warm sweaters, but not nearly enough.
Ooh, is that the Garthenor
That is the
yarn?
Garthenor yarn. So
Oh, that's so
remember when I
nice.
went to Unravel to help out at the Garthenor booth, they were so kind and sent me home with a bag of yarn, of which I had previously told Johnny. I was like, "Oh, this would make such a great sweater for Oren," and he's like, "Yeah, like here, you take it." Oh,
Oh,
so thank
that's
you
so
again.
nice.
So this is Garthenor's Pentland,
I love that.
the blue, combined
It's
with their
beautiful.
latest release, which is Tavy, which is a series of marls inspired by their move,
Mm.
or the move of their premises from their farm to Cardigan. And when I saw this marl in a skein on an Instagram story that Johnny did, I was like, how good would that be in a sweater combined with the blue as the contrasting color? And how good is this, please?
Yeah,
Like,
it looks so good. I love it.
it's so pretty. I adore this. Oops. Look at this.
Oh, it's
It's
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
They make the
And I
best
think it's
yarns.
also just so fun for a kid's sweater. Like, would I personally
Mm-hmm.
wear this? Maybe not. Like, at least not in like a sweater. But like for Orion, he adores this. Like, he's so excited.
Yeah, I think it's really
Yesterday I
cute.
showed it to him and was like, I made some progress on your sweater. And he looks at it and he's like, it's really nice, Mom, but can you keep knitting on it and make it a little bit longer? I'm like, I adore you, sweet son. Yes, I can and I will.
Knit quicker.
Yeah. So here's where I put that like provisional cast on thing to use. Like I did the exact same thing for the neckline. So I did
Yes,
the provisional cast on, knit in twisted rib, and like I just love how this looks. Like
that is
such a great,
gorgeous.
like it just looks so nice and polished, and yeah. Um
I like how finished that makes it
yeah.
look. It makes it look a little retro as
Yeah, it
well. I
does.
like that it always gives that vintage
Yeah.
feel when it's got a folded neckline.
I'm using Tin Can Knit's Flax Light sweater. I swatched, you'll be proud, I swatched for it. Um,
Go
I got
ahead.
perfect stitch gauge. I was like, what? I
Did
did.
you? That never
No,
happens
it
to
never
me.
happens to me either. Row gauge is off, but that's fine. I can fix that. But I got really excited. But I'm really glad that I then also took another look at their measurements and then compared them to some of Oren's sweaters. Oren's
Mm-hmm.
quite big for his age. He just turned 3. He's wearing, like, if you're familiar with like German slash European kids clothing sizes, 104, so which is for like 104 centimeters body size, can get a
Got
little
you.
bit snug already. And he
Ah,
just
you don't
has,
want that.
yeah. And the T-shirt that I knit him in the summer was also based on Tin Knit's Flax Light, and it fits, but it's not with a lot of ease. And like I think for a sweater like this,
Yeah.
like I wanted to have a little bit more room for him to maneuver in, and
Mm-hmm.
also obviously to last through the winter. And so I looked at some of his sweaters that
Yeah.
are in like the larger sizes, so the 110, and then compared that to the measurements of the Tin Canet's Flax Light pattern. And I'm knitting the size 6 to 8 year old. Yeah, like the chest
That's mad.
measurements of like I would have knit originally I would have just picked the size 4 to 6 year old, and then I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, I wonder if that would actually fit. And it would, but with no ease. So
Yeah, and especially in the
Um,
winter, you want to get,
yeah,
what if you want like a long sleeve top on under it
exactly.
as
Like, I mean,
well? You need like a bit more.
that's what he's been wearing, like a long sleeve top and then a
Yeah,
warm sweater and then the winter jacket. And
yeah.
it's always better if things turn out to be too big. And honestly, like, I think it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm finished with the yoke increases, and obviously, like, it's all bunched up here, but like, this is pretty close to what his favorite sweater is like. So, yeah.
Perfect. Oh, it's going to be so nice.
Yes, and I'm
Oh,
really
it's going to
excited
look
about
so
it.
cute in
It's
that.
also just, it's a really nice feeling to make something not just because you want it, but because it's necessary. Does that make sense? I've been thinking a lot about, I mean,
Functional.
depending on wherever you are in the world, you might or might not be affected more or less by gas and oil prices. But here in Germany, we were very reliant on the Russian gas imports, both for heating and for electricity production. And we have been, like, as a country, trying to cut that down to almost nothing, which is just like, it just means like a huge push from everyone to save as much, um like, as much as possible. And like, gas not in gasoline but actual gas for heating, right? Like, and so it just makes me very glad that this is the craft that I love and I'm able to make things for my family to keep them warm. Like, that sounds a little bit
Keep them
cheesy, but
cozy.
yeah,
No,
like,
it's nice. It's always nice when you're making things. Well, it's nice to be frivolous always, but it's nice when you've got that feeling of there's a
yeah,
purpose behind
yeah.
making too.
And it's
So,
like, so Oren gets that, and then he desperately needs a few pairs of socks, which I'm gonna just like do in the meantime, I think. And then I think I can convince David to finally get a sweater. I'm thinking like just Gillette on like really large needles so it's not too warm, and just like a basic thing. We'll
yes.
see.
Is he not a knitwear person then? Does he not wear a lot of knits?
He, no, but he's also just always very warm. So like, he
Yeah.
only really wears sweaters when it's really cold. But now,
Yeah.
because we haven't turned on the heating, it is just cold in our apartment. And so he's pulled out his sweaters way earlier than he used to. And I'm just like, look, like, you have a person in your life who really likes to knit and who really likes you and who would really like to make you something. I think he also just feels bad because he knows
Oh,
how much time goes into this. And then
yeah.
I get it. Like, he doesn't want to feel obliged to wear it, but then he does feel obliged to wear it. So we'll see.
If you want to, if you can knit for my husband, because he's always like, "Will you make me
Will you
another
make
sweater?"
me?
I'm like, "Oh, I just made you one." I want to make myself
Yeah.
5 more because I'm terrible. But no, Chris is. I want to make another one for Chris too because I've been making something and he's eyeing
Yeah,
mine up. So
you
I think
absolutely
he's
need to
going to be
make that.
getting.
Alrighty. I definitely want to see that. I just really quickly want to share. Do I want to share what I want
Yes.
to make? Yeah. So every
Yeah.
time
Tell us what you want to
that we get
make.
a new yarn, I obviously want to knit all of the things in it. And I've had one thing planned ever since I placed that yarn order, but then also something else jumped to mind. So the first thing that I'm gonna, or not the first thing, but one of the two things that I'm gonna make for myself is a Washington cardigan in Forge in the Dusk
Ooh,
colorway. The Washington cardigan is like a cocoon
nice,
cardigan that's just going to be really nice to throw on over long sleeve t-shirts,
cozy.
really cozy. But then also, remember how I said I really need a new scarf or shawl, and I was going to knit Juliet?
Yes.
I was not going to knit Juliet. I was going to sojourn in Juliet.
Yes.
I was in the shower yesterday morning, and I was that's how my brain works. I was thinking what you could knit with the Hudson and West fingering weight weld. And then I was going through our issue 8 patterns. And I was like, I think
Ooh, yes.
Right?
That's a great idea.
Right?
That's a great idea. Do that.
Right? So here's my thinking. So Lueur, this is the pattern, like a beautiful asymmetrical triangular shawl by Audrey Borrego. Is originally designed for a boucle lens Angora Merino, but they've had huge spinning problems, so the yarn isn't available.
Well, that's a shame.
It's a shame because it's a gorgeous yarn. It also means that, you know, I'm like, we've had a few people ask for yarn substitution recommendations for this. And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be ace.
I mean, this would be like,
Do
it's like
that.
almost the same specifications. And I think this would be so fun to knit, you know, like it's just
Yeah, me
like
too.
really, and like super good to wear as well. So originally where I wanted to knit Sojourn, which I'm still going to do, but I think I'm going to prioritize this because I've actually not like had this on my needles for a larger project, just for swatches. So it would be really nice. So
what colors will you do?
see,
What colors will you do?
I am very torn. So I think I definitely want to do the creamy white, which is Aspen. And then either with this lovely,
ooh, pretty.
like this is tobacco. This would be really
very
nice.
Autumnal.
Very autumnal. I
that.
really
That'd
like
be
it.
Really nice.
Or gold leaf.
Oh, that'd be nice as well, though.
Right.
That's very close to the original sample as well. Or at least it looks it here. Those
it's a
colours quite
little
similar.
bit. It's a little bit more yellow.
Yellow.
Which I quite
pretty,
like.
Though.
I think it's really pretty.
Yeah.
I think both of them are really pretty. Like originally, I have all of the Forge yarn, or all of the Hudson West yarn stacked over on my windowsill from the photo shoot. So I originally just immediately gravitated towards these two. But the more that I look at these,
I think that one.
I think
I'm
too.
thinking those two.
Plus, I mean, if you're thinking like combine, ooh, yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? Because
that's a combo.
I mean, that works.
Oh, also pretty as well. That reminds me of, like, yeah. Oh, so that reminds me of like strawberry truffles. My brain automatically went to food.
But honestly, I think
that pop of like greeny yellow is really nice.
Yeah, I think so too. And I like how it works with my glasses. I like my skin tone.
Yeah, me too.
I think that.
Yeah, I think that one.
Yay!
That's going to be so nice.
I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that was me. A lot of knitting. I want to see yours. I want to get a closer look on like
Well, first of all, I will show you. I'm so sorry, but I've not made as much progress on my scarf. I have made a little bit of progress, but what happened is we have visitors over from the UK for 2 weeks, and I'm going to blame them because we had a little one running around too. My friends and the 1-year-old little one, super cute, but when you've got a chat, because this is a lot of cables and ribbed cables, and it's such a fun knit, but I needed to concentrate, and I could not do that with a little wee one running around, which was absolutely fine because it was worth it. So I ended up spending a lot more time on another project that I've started, and now I'm getting really close to finishing, which is this.
Oh my god. I love this so much.
So this, and I'm completely blanking on the name of the designer. This is Into the Wild, which is, let me just double check because it's such
Wait,
a
I'll check
pattern.
for you. I'll check for you. You keep talking about the sweater.
You check. I put it on my Instagram at some point. I've just completely forgotten. But this is the Into the Wild sweater, and originally this gorgeous yoke, rather than this cheeky face right here, it has really sweet foxes, like little foxes
Tanya Barley.
on it. There we go. And I bought this pattern last Christmas with the intention of buying the yarn and doing it last Christmas. And then I was like, no, you need to knit from stash only. And that's what I've been doing pretty much all year. That's how my lovely Merrymaker came about. I've had so much fun knitting from stash, but it was starting to get close to autumn and I was like, I want to knit that sweater. Because as soon as I saw it with the little fox faces on, I was like, I can totally change that to Tilly.
I just love
And put
it
little
so
Tilly
much.
faces on instead.
And it looks so much like Tilly.
Oh,
It just looks so much like Tilly. Why do you think that is?
it
Because
does,
of the
doesn't
white,
it?
maybe. Because that's so
I did
recognizable.
I played around. So what I did was I took the chart. So the only thing I modified was this section of the chart. I moved things around slightly and I did have to get Tilly's face in properly, I had to move some of the decreases a little bit, but essentially it's exactly as it's written in the pattern. But then what I did is I took the fox and it is a little wider. The fox is a little more narrow because the fox has pointy ears. But I think it looks so much like Tilly because I messed around because she's got a very definite, because the little floofy ears go out and then it kind of comes in to that little triangle face, but it's not quite as pointy as the fox's was. It kind of levels off. I played around with it for quite a while until I got it. I was in Stitch Mastery. I had the best day. But I'm just like making a little Tilly face with it and it was so much fun. But the only thing, so the very final thing I'm going to do when it's all done is I'm going to add her little pink nose. And I'm going to use duplicate stitch because honestly, if I can, I will always avoid using 3 colours at the same time when it's in colour work. It had to happen a couple of times in this and it was fine. But I was like, for the one row that's going to have a little bit of pink on there, because the fox's nose was black, but Tilly does not have a black
Yeah.
nose. It's like that little soft pink colour. So yeah, and look how much I've done.
Wow.
I love this colour work
Oh
at the
my
bottom
God, show
too.
me. Oh, that's so pretty. I love the,
It's really
yeah, I
subtle,
love the low
but
contrast and then the pop of orange.
yeah. So this is you can say the word and I can't, so I'm going to let you say it, but this is Iztec's unspun yarn.
Plutolopi.
How do we say that? Plutolopi. Every time I try and pronounce on my own, I end up with plutolopi. So, exactly. So, I love this yarn. As with every knitting trend, massively late to the party. I only tried it recently. I tried it once. I had it held double with our friend Ruth's yarn from Rain Cloud and Sage for a hat that I did, and I loved it for that, but I've never used a single strand on its own. And I'm so smitten with it. I think people are a little worried because it is more fragile, because it is unspun yarn, but it's not broke on me that often, and honestly, when it does, I just spit
Yeah.
splice it back together.
So are you
And
holding
you're
like
ready to
one
go
strand
again.
or are you holding a double?
Yeah, just one strand, and it's creating a really warm,
Yeah.
super light fabric, and I'm not worried at all. It feels really robust too, so it doesn't feel too delicate or anything. Once you get it knit, because it's so sticky, it's just like goes
Yeah.
together in this gorgeous little,
Oh,
oh, it's so much fun.
it looks so good. I love it so
So
much.
yeah, so happy with it. So I used the same colors as listed in the pattern, apart from, I think it was Deep Woods she used for the sample, which is more of a green color, and I went for this one, which was a number. I can't remember. It's tricky when I was looking for the different colors. They were either numbers or names, and I got a little confused. But I'll try and list exactly the colorways that I use there. And I'm just so happy with it. I've not been able to stop knitting
Gorgeous.
on it. And once I got past the yoke as well, because it's all stockinette, ooh, as I throw my yarn around, it's just been so nice just to sit there and knit on it, and really fun. So I went up a needle size for the colour work, because I found that my swatch was quite tight compared to the stockinette. And I also learned a lesson that I never seem to learn. And I always do the same thing. I went up a needle size for the arms because you know me and my sleeves, I always go, no, it'll be fine this time. I'll just make sure I'm not knitting
Yeah.
too tight when it comes to the sleeves. And then I'm like, why are my sleeves so damn tight? So I went up a needle size again. So I used the same needle that I did for the colour work for the sleeves too. So,
Oh,
oh
I love it
yeah.
so much. And I kind of think you actually need to make Chris one as well.
Yeah, Chris is like, because he also loves this colour
Mm,
too. It's a very Chris colour. It's not really a clear colour, but as soon as I saw it, I thought I need to go full autumnal. Because I don't wear brown a lot, but I love it. And Chris is like, I want that sweater. So he might get a matching Tilly sweater. And then Chris joked that I should make Tilly a version, but make a chart thing with my face on it instead, like
I
this.
was I
And I was like, no.
I was going to suggest, like, for Chris, you can do alternating Tilly and Claire faces, and then for Tilly, you can do Chris and Claire faces. It's a bit creepy
Chris
though.
doesn't want me on there. He just wants
Okay.
Tilly.
Mm,
It would be quite funny though. Can you imagine? We'd definitely be that family.
yeah.
Oh, my nose is so runny. I
Oof.
apologize. Um, so yeah, I've been really, other than those two things, I've been quite good. I haven't been like, I need to cast on all the things at the moment, although that is what's kind of in my brain that I want to cast on more things. I've been working pretty singularly on
Yeah.
things, which has been quite nice. I think for quite a while I was like, I've got all the things on my needles and I got a bit overwhelmed. So it's been good to narrow down on one or two projects. But my brain, as I get towards the end of the sleeves for my sweater, I can feel my brain like, what am I going to knit next? What should I do next? So, and I've got something, I've been obsessing over the thought of another petiole, but with Euless for
Ooh, oh, that would
ages.
be so
So that
good.
is definitely going to happen. Yeah, and I've got the yarn just down there. So that is definitely going to happen at some point. I just don't know when. I was like, I kept thinking about it yesterday in the shower again. And I was like, you should hold off till the new year and then it can be like a spring, like going into spring sweater. But I don't know. I'm kind of itching to get it on the needles a little bit. I think it's going to be really fun.
I think so too.
Yeah,
And
I
remember
don't know.
how fast the first one went? Like, because you just want
I
to fit,
know.
like, get to the next row in that amazing yoke, and then after that, it's just stuck in it, and then you're done. Like,
Oh
yeah.
my God, I know. And I'm a slow knitter, but
I mean
that
that.
thing's
Like, look at
flying off
that.
the
Yeah.
needles. And you're right, my petiole was the same way. I remember it was one of the few instances on the podcast where I was like, look how much I've knitted. And you were like, have you, what?
Yep.
And you hadn't knitted as much and it took you a little bit longer. So yeah, it was weird. That doesn't normally happen. Normally it's me going, I knit 3 rows and you like, I've got a
It's like,
sweater.
I actually remembered while you were talking, I finished another thing that I didn't show. I completely forgot about, but it's only a half thing. I finished a sock, and that's because I knit on it during like a 6 hour webinar. So yeah, so that's okay. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
it's nice. I'll show you that in the next episode. Um, so yeah, next episode without you. So for everyone who's
Oh,
wondering, so the podcast isn't going anywhere. It
no.
will just be me, uh, for little me, and then hopefully I can convince Claire to come back here every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
So that will be nice. But yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit about you leaving and why and what's next. Um, so yeah, we have not prepared this,
Yeah.
if you couldn't tell. So all right, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
basically because
start.
I've been ignoring
It's
the
like,
fact
yeah,
that I'm going.
yeah, we both have. So I'm just gonna start, and you can chip in and like continue the story. So
Okay.
I mean, making stories. Claire has been with making stories for just over 4 years, and has been such an essential part of it. Like, period, full stop. We wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are without you, and this podcast wouldn't exist without you, and I would have gone up the walls without you, and so like I think it goes without saying, and that's probably what you can tell if you're viewing this, that this is like it's a really hard goodbye for all of us, and I think especially for the two of us. Um, it's also one that's come quite organically over the last few months, or even over this year, essentially. Like Claire and I switched the way that we work up a lot in the last 4 years, and like the last significant shift
Yeah.
we did in February. Um, and I think then over the course of the next few months, it just became really clear that this might be the end of the road at some point. And I think you said that beautifully when you approached me. It was like, look, like we need to talk. I was like, no, I don't want to talk. I know what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk. That's what went through my brain. And I think in that conversation you put it so beautifully, because you said like, I mean, I got Making Stories to where it is now, but I'm not sure I'm the right person to get it to where it needs to go next. And like vice versa, I think we cannot provide what you might need in your life right now. And like, as much as I wish it were different, it's not. So we
Yeah.
both came to the conclusion, like you first, and then I was in denial for a while, and then I came to the same conclusion that, this, um, yeah, this might be it. And as far as goodbyes go, I think, like, at least from my side, like it's a good one. Like, it's obviously very bittersweet, um, but it's also, I'm just so glad that we were able to talk about things in the way that we were able to talk about things, and to, like, I don't know, to me it feels like it's not a breakup. And I think often when someone leaves a team, especially
No.
like as small as Making Stories, it can feel like a breakup, but this feels like we're parting ways for now. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah,
still be really
exactly.
close friends. Yeah, that's kind of like my 2 cents.
Yeah. I completely agree. It's really sad in a lot of ways, but in the same time it was exactly that. It kind of, from my point of view, it was just, well, first there was a lot of financial reasons behind it too, and it was just, I think I remember saying that to you as well, that if I had like an abundance of money in the bank, it wouldn't even be, I'd just be like, yep, let's keep going, let's keep doing this, it doesn't matter. But I definitely needed more of a financial security in a lot of ways, which is, I came to realize, and then did the same thing. I was like, nope, gonna ignore that for another couple of months, not think about it. And then I had to very firmly think about it. So there was that side of it that came up. But then also, as you said, I think it was, I kind of felt like we were really in it. And for 4 years, for a good 3.5 years, I was exactly what you needed in order to get the cogs moving and things, and kind of be your girl Friday for all the things that needed doing, and we could just roll up our sleeves and hunker down and get into it. But then as things shifted, you know, I realized that you needed something, and I think maybe I saw it a little bit before you did, especially when it came to the work we were doing, and I thought, we kind of need something else in here that maybe I can't provide. Instead of your girl Friday, you needed someone with more targeted skills, and where my skills had just kind of ended up going wee, which has been ace, which has been so much fun. But it just, I don't know, there was something that wasn't quite clicking still, and definitely not obviously on the friendship level, but
Mm,
just how how we were slotting together with making stories, and those conversations are always really hard to have in a lot of ways. But then it wasn't hard. I knew it wasn't going to be hard when I was like, okay, something's not working here and we need to talk about it. It's like, no, let's not talk about it. But that's growth, and that's, that's how both of us kind of maybe have to kind of grow separately for a little while and then hopefully come back together professionally too, because, and honestly, I don't see it as a goodbye at all. I'm going to really miss recording the podcast and our one-on-ones and working out what to do with the Instagram schedule and all the things that I normally do. But then at the same time, I'm going to be constantly pestering you and be like, let's have a call.
Please
What's
do.
happening with this?
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not, it is a sad goodbye, but it's also not a, I gotta get out of that job scenario. It was just a, this is maybe not right anymore for right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was so sweet. Like, I mean, we posted about it on Instagram and announced it in the newsletter towards the end of September, beginning of October. And so many people reached out and were like, well, we can't imagine making stories without you, Claire. And yeah,
Oh, that's so
it's like, I mean, you've
sweet.
become such an essential part of this that I think, like, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for everyone, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's, um,
That's
yeah.
sweet. But it's definitely also not true. Making stories will more than function without me. And I'll still be here. I will still
Yes.
be here lurking, cheering you on from
Yeah.
the bleachers. Is that, I think that's an
That's
American
an
term.
American term.
But
We don't have those.
that is, I
But
don't
yeah.
have those. I don't know why I said it. Maybe that's a Canadian thing. From the stands. But yeah, it's been a weird few months. I'm not going to lie. And I think we chatted today and I was like, because I was technically, this all happened without us doing much planning. And as Hanna Lisa said, it just suddenly happened from that initial conversation. Me leaving them was very an organic
Mm.
process. And I was also off for 2 weeks during that period. So it was kind of like, we made the decision, we both kind of started ignoring it again because we didn't want to talk about it. And then I went on holiday, kind of, and then I was like, I don't think I work at Making Stories anymore.
And
It
it,
was like,
it's like, it's funny because I've kind of been, I mean, I was like, okay, cool. So it's October. So I'm taking over the Instagram now. And obviously I do all of the blog posts and stuff. But then there's the whole other part of offboarding, which is like organizing a goodbye dinner or like a virtual goodbye party, and then closing the email address and all of that. And like, especially the last part, like the admin stuff, I've just completely ignored. Like, no, I don't want to.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah, I did the same thing. I went into my emails, like, was it yesterday for the first time? And I was like, okay, I just need to delete all these things I don't need. And I actually don't know what to do about my email anymore. And I need to ask Hanna Lisa. But I nearly texted her at the time and I was like, I don't want to text her about this. I'm just going to ignore it again.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what's happening. What's next for you?
Ooh. Well, I made a decision. So first of all, I'm also flossy, so I have my design work too. So I'm going to be continuing that,
Plus, I
which
hear
is kind of
there's a
my,
beautiful release of something very exciting.
yes. I'm releasing a new pattern next week, which is Tuesday the 18th, which is my new cardigan pattern, Joni, which I'm really excited about. So that's coming out on the 18th of, so it'll be out. By the time we do this, I have a new pattern out. Yay. So yeah, I'm still continuing my design work, but I also realize, I think that's another one of the things that over the past couple of months, I started looking at all the aspects of the work I do, and I realized that I would be really interested in doing a bit of professional development in the digital content designing side, kind of because really what my job entails is I do the digital design and I do the social media, and then I do a lot of copywriting and then other things outside of there. But one of the things I realized from working at Making Stories is I love doing digital design. So I've been doing some online professional development in that. So I'm hoping to kind of push, because Flossie, I absolutely love Flossie and I love my podcast. But I don't think I don't know if it's what I want to be doing full time. For a while, I thought that's where I wanted to push Flossie to, but I think I really enjoy keeping it as my side business alongside something else, and kind of have the option of going in two different directions creatively. So yeah, while I crack on with Flossie at the moment, I'm also doing a little bit of professional development in digital design, which has been really fun, and learning more about web design and that kind of stuff. So,
And you're so good at it. I mean, like for everyone who's like, okay, what is digital design? I think it can, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it can start with things like creating graphics in Canva for, like
exactly.
Instagram and GIFs and things like that. Which you've been doing for forever for Making Stories, and you're excellent at. But it also extends to websites, like setting up websites, a little bit like coding, HTML, CSS, making things pretty and making things look good. And like,
Exactly.
just take a look at flossyknits.com, because that's one of the most stunning websites out there. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm redoing my website at the
Ooh,
minute because I love that
exciting.
website, but I'm taking it to 7.1 on Squarespace and doing a
Yeah.
little update. So that'll be updated soon, and yeah, so hopefully for the future, offering those services to other people, and also trying to bring in a little bit of communications consultation in there too, with social media and things, but that's a little ways off maybe, I don't know. Things are kind of up in the air, and I'm really excited about them because I feel like I can carry on doing my Flossie stuff, but I'm also at a point where I can kind of get my teeth into something
Yeah.
new and learn
That's always good.
build on some skills. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yay.
so yeah, exciting, a little scary, but exciting, but sad. All the emotions.
All the things. But that's also one of the things, like human existence is not just about the positive feelings, like there's always
Yeah,
positive and then sad and then everything mixed into one. That's okay.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And hopefully you'll see me pop up on here maybe now and again. Who knows? And I
Yes.
won't be far away. I might not always be here. I'll not be here on the podcast much. But I'll always be lurking around.
And go give Clara a follow, like over on Instagram at Flossy Knits, because things are beautiful there. And do you have a newsletter on your website set up?
Yes.
Go sign up for the
Yes, I have a
newsletter.
newsletter. If you find me through Instagram, you can go straight to my newsletter, sign up through the link in my profile. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I think this is the wrap. What?
Oh, we made it through without absolutely wailing,
We
though,
did.
which
I did that
which is
in
more than I
our
can say
team
for when we
call.
told the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
we had to tell Elsa and Jess, and Hanna was like, Claire, do you want to share your news or should I? And I was like, you do it, Hanna Lisa. To which Hanna Lisa started crying, and then I burst into tears.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was
happened.
fun.
No, it wasn't fun. It was
Yeah. Oh, and
necessary,
I'm going
but it's
now.
like,
Stop it.
yeah.
I've got mascara on. Stop it.
So
Ah,
yeah,
it's all good.
it's fine. This is not. It's not my one of my best friends always says this is not goodbye. Like, she doesn't like goodbyes. She always just says see you later. She's like, no, there's no goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'll
which
definitely be
is
seeing you
which
later.
is in, if you say it in German, auf Wiedersehen, it's always, we don't have goodbye. Like, we don't have it. It's always see you later. Always. So that.
Is that what Auf Wiedersehen translates to? See you later? I didn't know that. I always got taught it meant goodbye.
Which one?
That's so
Say again.
nice. Auf Wiedersehen?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Does Auf Wiedersehen translate to...
No, it's see you later.
Am I saying it really?
It's literally...
See you later. See?
It's literally... Well, like, it's not literally, but Wiedersehen is see you again. So it says, I will see you again. Like, you use it in the same place as goodbye, but it means something else. So,
yeah. See, my English-German lessons, they did not tell us that.
Damn. So, yeah.
God damn them.
Now you know. Love, thank you so much for the last 4 years. I need to stop talking now because otherwise I'm going to just burst into tears.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone.
I can feel this eye going.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this podcast. I hope you continue coming back, even if it's just little old me.
Well, your solo episode was amazing when I had COVID, so we already know you're awesome solo. So keep watching, people. I will be.
Oh, thank you so much. And go follow Claire, Flossiness, on Instagram, same, and then .com on the website. And then also go and watch her amazing podcast because it's really, really awesome. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you, love. And thank you to everyone.
Alrighty. See you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Love you lots.
Love you.
Mwah.